Isn't it crazy how far we have come? Like, I grew up on Vice City, and I don't know if anyone out there did as well, but I don't remember the game looking this bare bones, this bad, but it is absolutely crazy to see how far we've come in Vice City. I mean, obviously it's been what, like 20 years, so it's to be expected, but I saw these images put together by Reddit user Wasser Villa, and I thought it was just a very interesting little comparison between the game we're all excited for and the game a lot of us did grow up on. But that is not exactly what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is, will GTA 6 be delayed again? An ex-GTA developer actually came out and said that that's probably not going to happen. So we have some hope that May 26th is going to be the date we all play this game. Now, if you have been following along, you know this guy, Obey Vermeege. He was a developer at Rockstar for like 20 years. He did leave after GTA 4, I believe, so he hasn't been there in quite some time. But if anyone remembers, a couple of months ago, actually going back to last year, he made this post on Twitter. The decision to delay GTA 4 was made 4 months or so before the original release date. Any further and it's hard to make the call. Rockstar is probably not in a position to determine whether they will hit 2025 until May-ish. And then he says, also GTA 6 will sell for 10 plus years and there's no competition to worry about, so they are not going to release the game until they're 100% happy, no matter what it said in the trailer. I have no inside info, didn't talk to anyone. This was back in 2024. He basically told us they're not gonna announce a delay if they needed to delay it until May. And as we all know, that is exactly what happened. Early May, I think around one of their conference calls, they did announce the game was getting pushed back to 2026. So this guy was right on the money with that. And it makes sense. He was there for, like I said, 15, 20 years, whatever it was. I mean, he probably has a really good idea of what goes on at Rockstar and like behind the scenes, even though he was there a long time ago. So him saying stuff, it does hold a lot more weight than just, you know, us random people on the internet. But he actually had a new tweet. Someone asked him, do you think GTA 6 will be delayed again until fall of 2026? And all he had to say was that Rockstar had a free choice and they picked May 26th, the specific date. He says they're confident they'll make the final call about 5 months out as well, and that any GTA 6 delayed rumor before December is clout chasing, but May 26th, that's the date more than likely they're going to release this game on. And I do think for most of us, this is a bit common sense. Now, in that tweet, he does say December, but if I take you to the quarterly earnings page on Take-Two's website, obviously, as we all know, the first delay happened around this date, May, which again coincided with one of these earnings calls. If you just scroll back a little bit, there's not actually an earnings call in December. There's one in November, and then there's one usually at the beginning of February. I doubt they would announce anything in November. So more than likely, if there were to be a delay, and it's not looking likely, but if there were to be a delay, like something major happened behind the scenes, they would announce it around February 2026, like early February 2026, which is still like, you know, what, 4-ish months before the game is set to launch. But like a lot of people have pointed out over the last couple of months, Rockstar normally, when they've delayed games, have only set a time frame, like fall or spring or summer of whatever year. With GTA 6, we have an actual date, May 26th, 2026. And I think that's why he says they're confident, because why give a specific date if you know you're not going to hit it? Like if they were expecting another delay, they would have just said summer 2026 instead of a specific date. And as far as that date in particular, I mean, there's a couple of coincidences. Obviously, the number May is the month 5, 26, so it's 5 to 6. Like that's a little cool Easter egg, because of course we're going from GTA 5 to GTA 6. That is also the beginning of summer for a lot of people, like kids in school. And of course, that's a huge demographic Rockstar obviously wants to tap into. So the May 26th date, it's almost seemingly set in stone. Like I said, unless something major happens behind the scenes, some major F up, then we're getting the game May 26th, 2026. And I will say, this guy Obey, he actually does respond and answer quite a bit of GTA related questions over on his Twitter. So it's actually really cool to have someone, you know, in the industry answering all of this sort of stuff. And he has some interesting answers on a lot of questions. But one of the more interesting ones was about this whole age verification thing that we have talked about a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but it seemingly is only getting worse and worse. And what he says is, you know, this is a big thing now. It is not something publishers like to do. Like Rockstar and Take-Two, they don't want to do this sort of age verification stuff that they are already doing for GTA Online, and that's probably going to continue for GTA 6, but they just don't have a choice because of the new laws in some countries and states. So if you were hoping that you wouldn't have to deal with like age verification stuff in GTA 6, it looks like more than likely that's not really going away. And, you know, unfortunately, they do have to comply with the laws, with the rules, and, you know, they have to have that in. So another pretty interesting little answer he gave on that topic. And I've already talked about this before, but if in case you were wondering, if you haven't watched any of the other videos I've put out, we're more than likely going to be getting the next batch of information either, you know, sometime end of November or early December this year. That's more than likely when trailer 3 is going to happen. And then sometime next year is when the gameplay trailer, the online trailer, you know, that sort of stuff will happen as well. And actually, speaking of the gameplay trailer, I saw this post. This is fan made, so it's again not official, but I cannot wait for the trailer with this woman's voice to come over and tell us about the game.
With Grand Theft Auto 6, Rockstar Games aims to create a living world that not simply open, but deeper. Experience the biggest, most immersive evolution of the Grand Theft Auto series yet.
I think those gameplay trailers are my favorite that Rockstar does, so I cannot wait for that. But again, that's probably not going to happen until, you know, next year, March or April or something. But this is good news, of course. We have the ex-Rockstar developer coming out and saying that basically no more delays are going to happen. I know that with the last few games Rockstar's put out, they've had, you know, fall, and then it's been delayed to spring, and then it got delayed to fall again. So that's why people maybe are less optimistic and think that, oh, well, we have the May 26th date, but they're surely going to delay it again to fall. But again, those never had specific dates, so I think we're pretty much set in stone, which is great to hear. And that probably means that over these next couple of months, they're not focusing on anything big. They're literally just doing bug fixing and making sure the game is in its best state when the game does launch. So it's pretty exciting, I think, in my opinion. That is going to do it for today's GTA 6 video. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop a video like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA 6 content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.